Alright everyone, Quinstetter here. Welcome back to a brand new video. So we're doing a Beastworm Simulator B tier list. So first off, this video is 100% opinion based. Also, it's inspired from this guy. Okay. So where do we start off? Let's start off with simple Basic B. Basic B doesn't really have any stats at all, but the gifted ability is nice because it's 20% extra pollen, so I'll put it at a C tier. Next off we have the Baby Bee. It's a pretty decent bee. It doesn't have good stats though. It does have the baby love, which is really nice. So I'd put it at the B tier. Thirsty, I'm getting water. Drink water, please. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really have good stats at all. I think there's a hair or whatever. So yeah, it's a B tier. Next we have the Bear Bee. I would probably say the Bear Bee is A tier, maybe even S tier. I'll put it at A. I might change my mind later. So next, the Bombardier. It only really has the bomb. Correct me if I'm wrong, it only has the bomb. Yeah, it does. And also, it's just like the white version of the, this is the white version of, I think, the Rascal Bee and the, where is it? I think it's just the white version of the Rascal Bee and the Bumblebee. Yeah, it's that. So I will put it at C tier, because it's not the best bee, but it's not the worst. It's not like D tier. Next off we have the Brave Bee. It doesn't have any boosts, well not boosts, but tokens. Same with the Basic Bee, but I'd say it is decent for like if you want to attack, and if you're a white hive, if you have Star Shot and Gummy Star. Number one, the gifted white bee helps Gummy Star, and the the Star Saw for every like one white attack, or every just attack upgrades the conversion. So if you're talking about just like normal Bombardier, I'd put it at C tier, but if you're talking for like helping with Gummy Star or helping with White Hive, I'd put it here. I'll just put it like here, because not everyone is White Hive, and a lot of people don't even have the Supreme Star. I got it like 5 months after I got, well, 5 months after it came out, so I'm pretty late. And I got it like the end of November, like around Thanksgiving time in 2020, of course. Okay, so next is the Bumblebee. I'll put it, because it's really good for Blue Hive and it's really good for like Mixed Hive, I'll put it at B tier, because the bubbles is really nice. Helps with like Pop Star a bit and stuff. And I think it also has like a bomb ability, so that's also really good because that summons Pop Star, which is probably like really important or whatever. Okay, so next, the Buckaroo. It is also really important for Blue Hive because it has the blue boost, and that helps you collect pollen in blue fields, so I'm going to put it at B as well. It's also just a really good overall bee. It's also good if you have Star Shower, because you need boost tokens for that, but that's like not everyone uses Star Saw. It's not really Star Shower. It's not really the best passive. Next, Bumblebee. I'd say it's a C tier, only really because it has bombs. Same with the Bombardier, so I'll put it over there. I'll also put Rascal Bee, where's Rascal Bee? Okay, it's over here. I'll also put Rascal Bee over there because it's pretty much like the same thing as all of these. It's just red, white, and blue, basically. Red, white, and blue. Next, the Carpenter Bee. Now, this bee is very important for pretty much any hive, so I'm going to put it at S tier. The reason I'm putting it there is, one, if you're going to go to a white hive, this bee is crucial to have. The reason I'm saying this is because you need, you can't just have, 1 or 2, or maybe even 3. You need, 4 to 6 of these. And that's, in a white hive. In a normal hive, like a mixed hive, or just any other hive, like a red hive or a blue hive, you need anywhere from 2 to 3. That's all you need for all hives. I'd say just 2. But if you don't need as many spicy bees, if you don't need one from your hive, then do a carpenter bee because they're so good. Okay. Speaking of red or blue hives, Crimson Bee absolutely, it's probably one of the most important bees for a red hive. So I'll put it at A tier just because it's really important. Same with the Cobalt Bee for blue hive. Most of the time I see players with if they're red, they have this, and they don't have Cobalt Bee, or if they're blue, they have this, and they don't have Crimson Bee. And I used to think, hey, you get the pulse, and, the bombs help you collect more from, blue flowers if you have a red one. So, shouldn't you have both? And then now that I think about it, you don't really need, you only need the one of the color of your hive, and if you're white hive, you don't really need one of them at all. And I used, when I was white hive, I had them, and when I go white hive again, if I do, I'm getting rid of them. Because that means more vectors, or just, I need more fuzzy bees. Speaking of fuzzy bees is the only bee in existence to pollinate flowers. Because without this bee, it's kind of going to be hard. I'd say you need anywhere for any hive. I'd say 1, 2 to 3 for any hive. But if you're white hive, you kind of want 4 to 5 or 6 or whatever. Maybe even just 4. So I'll put it at S tier because it's a really good bee. Okay. Next, the Hasty Bee. I'd say this bee is decent. It doesn't really give as much haste, and its gifted ability. What's the gifted ability again? I don't know, I forgot. I haven't played Beastman in a while, so I don't really know every gifted ability. But if I were to put it in a tier, I'd probably put it at B tier, because it is decent, but it's not the best bee. I'd say for every hive, I'd have 1. If you don't really care, you could have 2, but I just have 1. Next off, another speedy bee, the Ninja Bee. Now, the Ninja Bee's gifted ability is pretty good. I'd say it is, it's not really that good of a gifted ability, I take it back. It is 5% bee movement speed, which isn't really the best. If I were to put it at a tier, I'd probably put it at B. Just because it's not the best, but it's not the worst. So yeah, it's a B tier. Next off we have the Commander Bee. I'm putting it at A because it gives 5% critical chance. So that's an extra 5% of like the big numbers you see when like collecting and battling. I thought it was just for battling at first, but no. It's for both. Same with the Liquor Bee, 50% critical power. It's good to have both of these because this one gives you more of the chance and this one upgrades the power of getting them. And yeah, I'll actually put the Liquor Bee at B tier just because it's not like the best bee. And the Commander Bee is a pretty decent. Now with the Cool Bee, I'm gonna put it here because number one, it's not really the best bee. Same with the Rad Bee. It's just like they don't really have the best abilities. They do have the boosting abilities, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, they're not really that good. Now the Demon Bee, a lot of people seem to hate it because one, it's slow, and for some reason they think it's ugly, and it's just like not the best bee. If I were to put it at a tier, I'd put it at C tier, not D tier, because it's not really the best bee. But it could get worked on. The only thing I'd give more to is like maybe an extra like 5% movement speed. That's all I'd add if I were on it, but not everyone's on it. Only on it is on it. Now the Demo Bee, I'll put it at A tier. Definitely not A tier, B tier. I meant B tier. The reason it's at B tier is only because it's not really the best bee, but it's not like as bad as the Bombardier. I think that's only because it has better like stats. I think, yeah, it has better stats than the Bombardier. Now the Diamond Bee, its gifted ability is not the best. Some of you might think otherwise, but I don't really think its gifted ability is that good. Just because of that, I'm gonna put it over here, but it has like 1,000 like convert rate or whatever, which is like the best ever. And that's just like, that's okay. It's not the best bee, but it's okay. The Exhausted Bee, I thought it was not really that good, but it actually is kind of decent. It has infinite energy, so it doesn't go to the hive that much at all. It only goes there to rest a bit or whatever. Or when it's like tired after a battle or whatever. Or like after you like die, your bees usually go back. Or when you're just in a really important boost, they just go back because they don't care. But when you're in a small boost, they just stay. But they kind of go when you're in a big boost, like most of the bees do. So yeah. Sorry about that. Alright. I'll actually put it at B tier. It's a decent bee, okay? It's a decent bee. Now, Festive Bee. A lot of people don't really, like, they're not a fans of it. Mostly the new players. But a lot of the endgame players, like, they adore this bee. It's usually, like, the highest level bee in their hives. It's pretty much, like, one of the highest level bees in my hive. It's level 16 in my hive. It's been that way since I was white hive. And it's really good. I'll put it at A tier because, one, festive gifts. Those are the best things ever. Two, red bomb, which is really good for red hive. And number 3, it has honey mark. I'd say the best stat, like, out of every bee in the game is the fuzz bombs, the festive gifts, the vicious bee spikes, the tornado, tabby bee stuff, and beamstorm. Same with the vector bee stuff. Well, not same with it, but it's also good. Now, I'd say the best one overall is probably the festive gifts. Oh, I also like the bear one. Yeah, the bear one's also good, but yeah. Now, the fire bee is really important for red hive. It gives times 1.5. It gives you pretty much an extra 50% pollen from flames, and it's just a really good bee for red hive. If I were red hive, I'd probably have like 1 or 2. I'd probably have 2 because it's just really good. I'll put it at B tier. Now the frosty bee, it gives you another thing to summon Popstar. It's just pretty much the same as Fire Bee, because they're just like Frosty Bee is the blue version of Fire Bee. Now Gummy Bee, this is probably the best bee for White Hive besides Vector Bee and Carpenter Bee. I'd put it at S tier because it's just really good. And Rage Bee, it's alright. I'd probably have 2 to 3 with all hives, except if you're like a heavy blue, I wouldn't. But overall, I'd put it at a B tier because it's just pretty good. And the Lion Bee, it has a really good gifted ability, +2 colorless attack, which is really damn good, in my opinion. So, I'd probably put it at A tier. For the Music Bee, it's really, really good because it's the only bee that gives melody, which is really good. It gives 100% critical power. And those are just the tokens, not the gifted ability from the Looker Bee. So that's really, really cursed. Oh, no. You're like doing a cursed image, if anyone of you are watching. Just do that. Try to erase them, like the mouse cursor. But yeah. I'll put it at an S tier because it's just so good. Same with the Photon Bee because it's just a really, really good bee from the Beamstorm and the 5% instant conversion from the gifted ability. So I'm putting it there. Now the Riley Bee, it's just the red version of the Bucko Bee. So nothing really special about Riley Bee. But I don't know, they're just like the same bee, just red and blue. Now, we're doing more of like the events bees now. For the puppy bee, it has a lot of hate, but I can understand that, but it's not the worst bee. If I were to put it anywhere, I would probably put it at C tier, because look at that cute face. That's not the only reason I like it. It's just really good for leveling up. So if you're like a noob with like 10 level bees and you have a star tree, I would probably first I'd actually put it on the basic bee because unless there's some fruit, I don't know if there is, there might be, I don't know. Unless there's some fruit for the basic bee, I would do the puppy bee first. But if there's no fruit, then put it here. Put it at the puppy bee because it's really, really a good gifted bee when it's gifted. Oh, also, if you were here during Beesmas, the reindeer antlers. Those are really good because one, they give capacity, not compacity, and I think they give some other boosts. I think so. I'm not sure. And same with the Festive Bee. There's a custom bee kit for the Festive Bee with the festive wreath, and it's a lot better than this one. But there's just both of them are good. I'd also like one of the first star treats. I'd put it at Fuzzy Bee because it's so good. Maybe from Mother Bear star treat, I'd give it to Basic Bee. But if there's a fruit to give it to that, I'd give it to Puppy Bee. And from Panda Bears, I'd give it to Fuzzy Bee. And from Onyx, I don't know. If you don't have this, I'd probably put it at the Tabby Bee. Next on with the Tabby Bee, it's pretty much the best bee in the game. So yeah, I'd probably say it's the best bee in the game. I just like the Vector Bee because one, it looks cool, and two, it's just an overall really good bee. So a lot of people hate it because of its looks, but I just really like it because its gifted ability is really, really good. So yeah. Next with the Honeybee. And the Honeybee. It's alright. It has a good stat, kind of. It gives the honey token, same with the Diamond Bee. So it's kind of a bootleg, colorless Diamond Bee. And it's also the most handsome bee, so gotta put it over there. Next, the Shocked Bee. It is really good for White Hive, as it gives like 1.5 times white pollen or 2 times, which is like crucial for pretty much any hive. Why it's good for like, let's say, red hive is because if you're in like pepper or whatever, there's a decent amount of white flowers. Same if you're a blue hive and you're in like pine tree or stump or whatever. I'll put it at B tier because it's just really, really good in my opinion. Next, the Shy Bee. I don't really know. I'll put it at C tier because it's not really the best. I'll put it at B tier actually, but it's just not really the best bee in the game. Next off, we got Spicy Bee. It's alright. I'd probably put it at B tier. Just B tier. And with the Tadpole Bee, because it has the baby love, only because the baby love, A tier. Now the Stubborn Bee, it's okay because it's good because it has the mark and the gifted ability with the like 15% token lifespan. I think that's how much. Yeah, that's the only reason it's B tier. If it didn't have those stuff, I'd put it at C tier. But because it has that, it's gonna be a B tier. Now the Vicious Bee. It's not really a gathering bee, but the gifted ability is really nice. So because of that, I'm putting it at A tier. And the Windy Bee, because of the tornado and stuff and the cloud, that's gone at S tier. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's a little long, but that's just my opinion. Please don't give me any hates. This is just all my opinion, so yeah. We're gonna see you guys in the next video, and bye.